Protecting people from Bettina. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Heiser Says. Now I thought I'd have a look at some of the protests that are happening that coincide with the speaking events of Bettina Arndt, who's doing a tour around Australia right now, looking at pretty much the false rape culture that apparently exists in our universities. Now, I remember back when I was studying architecture at QUT, one of the first things they did was to warn everyone about the botanical gardens and underneath the Riverside Expressway, the bikeway, because people had been sexually assaulted there. And they were happy to warn us all, first years, to be concerned, particularly the girls. They told them not to walk alone through these spaces at night. Maybe it's just because in architecture we were working all night, and we were used to it, but that was an acceptable thing to discuss, and I'm not really that old, regardless of all my grey hairs. But let's have a look at this footage here from La Trobe down in Melbourne, and it's quite familiar or similar to what happened to Jordan Peterson at some of his events. So they want her to go with Milo to hell? You know, at least she'd have some interesting company. You know, he'd be entertaining on the trip, but, you know, but although I think he might get a bit tired.
Rape is rightly a criminal offence and should be treated very seriously. It's a good thing that everything possible is now being done to protect a woman who's reporting rape from the trauma associated with making that sort of complaint, and giving her every chance of a fair hearing.
Fascists. Do these kids even know what a fascist is? Really? I don't know. Is this guy here? Is he just saying this to hook up with the chick? I bet you that's what he's doing. Guaranteed. I bet you Carton. Bet he won't get any action. Look at the people who are just coming to listen. You know, and they're bashing on the doors and causing all the ruckus. I don't know. We didn't have time for this when I was at uni. In architecture, we were working 4 days in the office, and you were at uni one day, and that was usually from 9 o'clock to 9 p.m. at night. We didn't have time for all this rubbish. Is that what all the full-time art students were doing?
Putting in the jeopardy of wrongful conviction. And so in New South Wales now, just recently, they've referred to the New South Wales Law Reform Commission to examine if the...
So you can see they just want to, and you can see down here, she's actually live at the moment, but they just want to deny any opportunity for her to speak. They want to protect their people from the speech, from the discussion. They don't believe there's a rape culture on campus, and they want to stop people hearing anything about it at all. So these are some images that were sent to me from the protest that just happened before the event in Sydney University tonight. And I've had some mobile phone footage messaged to me, thank you very much, from one of Bettina's associates who helps film all the events. And he said I could use it to share with you what's going on. And we'll just transition there. Let's just listen to what they're saying, because it doesn't make any sense.
Sorry? You talk to fucking Nazis. Hey, what's your opinion? I want to have a purpose of it. I don't care if I understand
Here, they're thinking that they're Nazis, and they're saying liberal scum, go away, because it's the Liberal Club. And here in Australia, Liberals is the political, well, it's meant to be our conservative Labor Liberal Party, but it's kind of like Labor Light these days. But that's for another video.
guys, the date is coming.
Okay, so you can see here that this is the type of stuff they're doing. These guys down here trying to have a debate, and everyone else is just, you know, coercion is not consent. Well, yeah, I don't think that's what she's saying. You know, I don't know. All the statistics I've looked at, everything I've seen says that there is no rape epidemic at universities, because then we wouldn't be sending our daughters to university. It's kind of safer than the city around the universities. But I don't know. I think people just need to see these things. So let's have a look at an example of what is being said in these lectures that they're trying to protect everyone from.
But of course, our experts aren't even allowed to talk about that in Australia. Last year, the University of Canberra had a website which had a party safe page advising students when you're drunk or using drugs, you're more likely to do things you wouldn't normally do if you're sober. And of course, the activists immediately got involved and demanded they take that down.
So the university website is saying when you're drunk or using drugs, you're more likely to do things that you wouldn't do when you're sober. That's common sense. That's good advice. And it's a good warning, because honestly, when you go to uni, particularly in your younger years, it's all partying, fun, it's all different, it's all exciting. I remember I was at uni. You know, we had a end of year party for our final year, and now they had to change all the supply of alcohol rules at the university. It was a damn good party.
Saying that was promoting don't get raped rather than don't rape. We're only allowed to tell young men don't rape. We're never allowed to say anything to young women. And I think that's so weird. I mean, look, we really require women, females, with young women, to take responsibility in every other aspect of life, such as persuading women that they're not allowed to drink and drive. We have no hesitation in doing that. And young women know if they get behind the wheel and kill a pedestrian, they'll be held responsible. Now, how is it that when it comes to that women are in no way accountable when they get drunk and make stupid decisions that put themselves in harm's way when it comes to sex?
So that is an example of her speech that's going on at this very moment that our friends here wanted to stop. They wanted to protect people from. Dismantle the colleges, I don't even know what that has to do with anything. Maybe it's an internal thing. I get the feeling that a lot of these students are just using this as an opportunity to get out there and protest, you know, have a bit of fun. I mean, look at them, half of them all on their phone. They're not even, there's someone photographing. You know, the police are there. They're actually, if you can see here, this is a fire escape. So they're obstructing paths of travel from a, you know, building design perspective. It's dangerous. And at least they've got solid doors at this university so she can give her speech as opposed to some of the others. As an architect, that's something to think about now when you're designing lecture halls, everyone. So I just wanted to share this with you because this is happening more and more. I'll add these events to the Freedom Map. If you're not familiar with the Freedom Map, it's a new map where I'm starting to track all of these things. But let's just have a look at the organization that is behind this event here. Well, hang on. I'll bring this up. Now, you can see here, this is the protest group. Give me one sec. Let me just adjust it there. There we go. So it's been organized by the Sydney University Education Action Group. Fantastic. The University of Sydney Women's Collective, the USYD Queer Action Collective, the University of Sydney Students Representative Council. So why would they be protesting this? So let's have a look at some of the discussions. So are you totalitarians? Are you going to prevent people from hearing her talk? This is tonight, meet at the quad. Yeah, okay. So there you go. It's nothing surprising here from this organization. Let's check out some of the others. Let's see who's hosting it. Books Not Bombs. Okay, we know them. They're already involved in some other Melbourne protests. And I'm going to... Women's Collective, Queer Action. Yeah, there you go. So, left-leaning organizations that are not surprising, that want to ban a speech which is probably just full of common sense. You know, I can't imagine that there'll be much controversy coming from what she's putting forward, other than the fact that they've created this artificial environment where these things can't be discussed anymore. Now, Avi Yamini, I got it there eventually, and Sydney Watson have also been invited to speak at one of the universities, and apparently there are protests already planned for that. So I'll add those to the Freedom Map as events, so we can see where all these organizations, you know, of course they're going to be around the university, where they're coming together and they're trying to deplatform these speakers. And good on the clubs that are bringing these speakers in, that are ensuring that security is addressed. Good on the universities that are allowing these events to happen and taking management of them. Because really, if these people cause problems, they should, just withhold their grades for a semester if they're breaching the code of conduct of a student. That'll probably get you some interesting results there. I don't know how it'll work, though. Well, guys, thank you all very much for joining me for this episode of Heiser Says. I'll see you again next time. And if you can let me know if you can get to any of these events, please send me some footage. If you can see any of the protesters acting entertaining, well, don't do anything stupid. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.